Gentlemen, you received instructions in the dressing room. I expect a good, clean fight. Protect yourselves at all times. Obey my commands at all times. Touch them up.
All right, we're just about ready to get underway. Ray, Kevin Walsh, has fans on all sides of the arena tonight. I mean, he has brought a tremendous crowd. He's 11-0, and if he wins this fight here tonight, and again, we're looking very far ahead, you could see him headlining here in this arena very soon. I think that is the next logical step if he pulls out a win tonight. And we know there's been some bad blood between Kevin Walsh and Mike Fountain. Could you imagine the crowd in this arena with those two fighters? Each side, fans spilling over into the concourse. I mean, it would be an amazing vibe. It's already feeling it here tonight with Matt Doherty and Kevin Walsh.
I thought the same thing when you said it. Like, he can main event here.
Absolutely. I mean, 11-0, sure.
The charisma he got,
yes.
I love his attitude in and outside the ring. With all this hype and yelling and screaming, he's still very calm.
Yes. You're right, Ray. The moment doesn't get to him, right? It's not about the showboating and the dancing, but when the bell rings, it's all business, and it's been that way for Walsh throughout his career. You see in his corner, he's got Mark DeLuca, one of the more established, well-known fighters in this neck of the woods, the Capiello brothers, who basically have raised him in the boxing ring. And not to be outdone, Matt Doherty coming back for the first time in 3 years. Had a really nice run here with CES back in 2017. He beat Julio Perez, he beat Cito Hoff, and he was the underdog in those fights. He wasn't supposed to win those fights, right?
Yes.
Those were guys who were at the time New England prospects or guys who were being brought up, and Doherty went there and beat them both. And then he's had some wars with Ray Moylette, undefeated at the time, Mike Juan Williams, whom he went 8 rounds with. So you know Doherty, A, has a good chin, and B, is just a tough guy.
He comes in all the time and fight. They say A side, B side.
Right.
I don't know, but I'll give it. He comes in as the B side.
Sure.
But as the first round goes, you're like, whoa, man, this kid's coming to fight. He's coming in right now. He's coming at Kevin Walsh. He lets those hands go. And he doesn't throw wild for an MMA fighter. He throws perfectly. And Kevin Walsh is, patient, calm, and he picks by rounds. He picks by rounds.
No, that's a great point, Ray, because we've always talked about in the past when MMA fighters have transitioned to boxing, sometimes they just look like MMA fighters trying to box. But Doherty has looked and developed into a boxer over the years, hasn't had a pro MMA fight since, you're talking 2015, 2016. So he's a boxer now, right?
Yes.
Those days were in the past, and he looks the part, and he's shown the little things, Ray, as you like to see from a boxer. Doherty has shown that in the years past.
Yes, he's a boxer that does MMA now. He's not a boxer.
Yes.
I mean, MMA does boxing now.
Nice pace established thus far by Walsh. Again, this one's scheduled for 8 rounds. Walsh in the blue and white, Doherty in the black trunks. Nice exchange, and he's got Doherty on the canvas.
Beautiful. We all know Doherty's going to come at you and throw wide. So what they're keeping Walsh, I believe, is calm. Let him rush in, sit down, and just pop that 1-2. And that's what he caught him with, that straight right hand.
No, you're 100% right, Ray. He was so calm during that exchange that when he saw Doherty come forward, I think he just saw the opening and looked so poised doing it. I mean, it's just the 3-4 punch combo, downwind Doherty, and there we go. There's a quick 10-8 round right out of the gate. Take a look at the replay here.
Here's the replay right here. See how calm he is? You're going to see Doherty jump in.
Yep.
And as he jumps in with that head high, there goes that right hand straight down the pipe. He's very calm. Give him angles, but when he jumps in, just sit and let those hands go.
And that's what Doherty's going to do. He's going to come at you. He's not looking to circle and really pace himself. And perhaps after having this much time off, fatherhood has become a part of his life. He has a new career outside of boxing. You wonder if Doherty comes into this knowing this is where my gas tank is. I may let it go in the first 4 rounds. If I don't win, I don't win, but I'm going to give it the college try, as you say, and you never really know.
That's Doherty's attitude every time.
Yes.
I'm not picked to win, so I'm coming in and giving everything I got here.
Well, he paid the price there at the end of the round. Walsh scoring the knockdown with a good 3-4 punch combo. And a good start for King Kevin Walsh, trying to take home the vacant New England lightweight title. By the way, worth mentioning, the last fighter to hold this belt was the late Zach Ramsey in 2017.
Oh,
a fighter whose life and career cut tragically short many years ago. And Doherty, of course, also the New England super featherweight title holder.
And even though this is a vacant title here, Walsh walked in with a belt.
Yes.
So you got to take the belt from Walsh.
I agree. Doherty, as he mentioned, has had some wars in the ring. Mike-Quan Williams, Ray Moylet. Back in 2020 fought Rudy Ochoa, who was 9-0 at the time, went the distance in that fight. So, he's here for the long haul. We don't know how the 3 years and being 35 is going to affect him. Is he the same Matt Doherty in his early 30s who could withstand those ring wars, or has he worn down? We're going to find out.
Walsh is very patient. That right hand he found a home for his right hand. He's popping it right down the middle.
He's looked very good, Ray. You got to remember, too, he didn't have a very long amateur background. He's kind of a late bloomer. He's 31 with 11 fights under his belt and only turned pro a few years ago. So he was somebody, in the late 20s getting a start. And I think he knew, I'm not going to go in there and have a 100-fight amateur background at my age. I'm going to come there and get ready. And so the fighter's still kind of learning on the job each time he gets in there.
He is. He's learned the job. He's learning in the gym. He's got the right people in his corner to teach him. You just don't have to learn in the fight. You want to learn by listening to your coaches. And, we sat down, me and him. He asked me questions. He asks other guys like myself, legends, how did I do? What do you think? He watches tape, and he's got the right people around him. He's got teachers around him.
1 minute to go here in round number 2. Once again, you're watching us on Swerve Combat. Michael Parenti and Sucre Ray Oliveira bringing you this New England lightweight title bout. Matt Doherty in the black trunks taking on King Kevin Walsh in the blue and white. Nice 4-5 punch combo again by Walsh. Starting to do his best work later in the round.
That was a 4-punch, 1-2, 1-2.
Yes.
And each one caught him. But Doherty, as he normally does, he's just going to keep coming forward. He knows nothing but to come forward.
And it sometimes works for you, and it sometimes works against you. But that's the style. Kind of reminds me of the old days, Patriots football, Pittsburgh Steelers football, and Bill Belichick used to say, look, the Steelers are the Steelers. This is what they do. It doesn't change.
Exactly right.
There it is, 2 rounds in the books. We've got a barn burner here for this New England lightweight title. We're going to send it back to the studio. Stay with us on Swerve Combat. Welcome back to Bally's Twin River Lincoln. Michael Parenti joined by Sucre Ray Oliveira. We're about to get into round number 3 of this scheduled 8-round bout between Matt Doherty in the black trunks and Kevin Walsh in the blue and white. And Ray, as expected, Doherty's just coming right at him.
Yeah, I was watching that during that break. I'm watching the corners, and we were saying how Walsh is very calm. His corners also calm.
Yes.
And Doherty, how he just comes forward, and that's his kind of style. When I'm looking at the corner, his corner's the same way. Is he down 2 rounds? Yes, I believe. The first round was 10-8. But it's no rush there. You got 6 more rounds to go.
That's interesting, Ray, because sometimes the fighter can develop that trait from the corner. If the corner's panicking, the fighter's going to panic.
Yes, exactly. I was telling my guys that a couple days in the gym. Another coach is yelling and screaming. And I said, just back off. Let me take this. Young man, calm down. This ain't life or death. Calm down. He was calm and did everything I wanted him to do.
There you go.
It's about how calm. If you're nervous, the fight is nervous. If you're calm, the fight is calm. That's what I believe.
Doherty really trying to charge his way in now and perhaps box on the inside a little bit more, but that's kind of that dirty boxing style, right?
That's the MMA right there. I saw him do. He laid that head on the chest and rubbed it into him.
That's the kind of stuff that adds up over the course of a long fight. I mean, you eventually have to land something of substance, but those are the little things that some fighters forget to do, and Doherty's a guy that sometimes lives off of that kind of style.
And this is Doherty's style.
Yes.
You know, even though I said the corner's got to stay calm, keep him calm, but this is Doherty's style. He just comes. He's a, what they call it, a wind burner or something.
Yeah.
Like that. You know, he just comes.
Sean Farley in the corner of Matt Doherty. Remember Sean Farley from years back at Augustin Morris.
Yep.
Very good 135 pounder. And he had another heavyweight, but I just can't remember the name of the fighter. But he's working with a lot of guys in this neck of the woods, and it's been some time since we've seen him. And of course, you mentioned the Cap Yellows. Mark DeLuca and Kevin Walsh's corner, giving a lot of exceptional tutelage and just years of experience they're passing down to this fighter. 40 seconds to go in round number 3.
This round here, Kevin's allowing. Whoa, we're allowing there. But he's got to stay calm. Got to stay calm, Kevin.
There come those flurries again. And they're landing here. Doherty's in some trouble here in these final 20 seconds. This fight might get stopped here if Doherty can't grab and hold.
There's no standing 8 count in Rhode Island.
Doherty wisely tying him up. Still 10 seconds to go. He's taken at least 8 or 10 shots here in the last 30 seconds. And again, wisely just wrapping him up, get to the corner, regroup. You see a welt opening up over Doherty's left eye.
Yes,
some real damage,
Ray. Around his head. Both eyes
This is
falling up.
real damage sustained there toward the end of that third round by Doherty.
I have Doherty winning that round so far in the beginning, but that last 30 seconds, you know, Walsh just lit it up on here and only got an 8 count or stoppage. So I gave that round also to Walsh.
And I agree with you on that too, and perhaps there's that internal clock for Kevin Walsh who knows, you know what, hasn't been my best round, I got 30 seconds. If I let my hands go, I can land on this guy. There you see it.
As you see right here, he just sat down and said, yo, let me put it right there. Every punch he threw was straight down the pipe. There was no hooks whatsoever. Just everything down the pipe. He didn't miss. Everything right down that pipe.
And that's despite Doherty keeping the hands tight, trying to stop Walsh from penetrating, but trying. It's really not working there in the end. I got to give another nod to Peter Zimbo, who's watching us tonight. The heavyweight that Sean Farley trained was Alexis Santos.
Oh, okay.
I was trying to remember the name, and we saw him in New Hampshire many years back, and it was always fun to watch Alexis fight. And now Sean Farley, of course, has his hands full here at Matt Doherty. Round number 4 getting underway. Again, this one's scheduled for 8. We're on Swerve Combat from Barry to River.
Beautiful uppercut by Walsh.
Another 2-punch combo.
He stepped to the left and threw that uppercut.
You know Walsh is feeling good here. He's feeling confident. In the back of his mind, knows he can do what he wants when he needs to do it.
Yeah, he's staying patient. You know, no matter if I get him out in the 4th round or the 8th round, I'm going to win this fight by points.
And Doherty, of course, doing what he does best, just hanging in there. A tough chin, and he went down in round 1, but with sort of pretty tough flurry there at the end of round 3 and managed to, again, in those final 15 seconds, grab hold of Walsh and just tie those hands up to get to the bell. We'll see if Walsh can get it, Doherty can get his footing back and get those legs back from under him and have a better 4th round. Doherty, not a big puncher, Ray, so if he's going to turn this around, it's really got to start now as we're nearing the halfway point.
He's definitely not a big puncher, but his aggression, you know, coming at you, frustrates you. It gets you out of your game plan. And, you know, I don't think he's going to get Walsh out of his game plan. He's calm. You know, he might get that little temperament once in a while. And as we've seen last round, that little temperament helped him out.
And Walsh doing a good job despite Doherty coming forward the entire fight. Some fighters don't handle that pressure well. They don't box well when they're boxing in a circle, but Walsh does well, and there he is using that jab as a distance finder.
He's coming in with his head. He's not coming in just throwing punches, which he should be doing. You're going to rush after someone, come in throwing punches, or you're going to get counted as you run in. And that's exactly what Walsh is doing. Not quite a little mix in there. Just a lot of Doherty coming in and grabbing and trying to dirty box by rubbing his head in.
Yep. 45 seconds to go in round 4. Again, this one's scheduled for 8. The vacant New England lightweight title on the line.
See, Walsh going to step to his right. He got to let that right hand coming over Doherty's front left hand. Which is why Doherty's eye is swollen. That's where he wants to go, right there, and throw that right hand.
We'll see if Walsh has another late flurry in him. He tends to close these rounds in style here. And there he goes. Another little 5, 6, 7 punch combo right there to pepper Doherty. Doherty giving it back to him a little bit, having fun in there. It's been a very good, entertaining fight. Credit to both sides here. I love what I'm seeing from Kevin Walsh. Loving the toughness and tenacity of Doherty. But Walsh is certainly a different level of fighter here tonight.
Yeah, even though Doherty did more aggressiveness, more rubbing the head, Kevin was allowing him to do, and you can see that at the end of the 10 second, see right here, 10-second bell, and he turned him, and he picked it up. So he won that round. There was a round that you could win without throwing a punch. And Walsh did that this round. He threw punches at the last 10 seconds, but he controlled the beginning of the fight. Yes, he didn't throw no punches, but he controlled it.
And you just see little bouts of that poise here and there from Walsh. And that last clip that we saw as Doherty had his head down and he's burrowing in there. Walsh is calm. He's just laying back on the ropes, waiting for the opportunity, like you said, to turn Doherty and then let go at 5 or 6 shots. And it's something that, Ray, you know you teach it in the gym, but you got to apply it when the bell rings.
Bingo.
In between the ropes, and that's what Walsh has done tonight. Round 5 getting underway here. Again, we're scheduled for 8. Michael Parenti and Super Ray Oliveira joining you on Swerve Combat. Still 2 more fights to go, including our co-main event and our 8-round main event for the WBC U.S. Silver Lightweight title.
2 more great fights to come.
Very good fights coming up. And we're watching another very good one here as Kevin Walsh taking on Matt Doherty in the black trunks.
Sometimes I do think Kevin's a little bit patient, but that's his style.
Sure.
He's patient. That's his style. Can't get him out of his style, but it works for him.
And that could be a pacing issue, again, as we've talked about. It's an 8-round fight. You wonder if this were 6 rounds, would he be picking it up more here in the 5th? Theoretically, you would say so.
This is where I tell fighters when they pace themselves. I go, you know what? You know if you're in shape. Did you train? Did you do everything you had to do? So why second guess yourself in a fight? And they say, I'm not second guessing myself. I'm just pacing myself. Pacing yourself to me is guessing. Do I have enough wind? I knew I had enough wind, and I'm going to throw 100 punches first round and 200 punches last round.
We're left there by Doherty, or Walsh rather, now starting to pummel Doherty again against the ropes. Doherty wants more.
He should give him more.
And Walsh will certainly do it. Spins up again, another right hand by Walsh.
Step to the right and he threw that overhand right. Beautiful.
Still plenty of time in this round, just over a minute, as Walsh is starting to really pick apart Doherty here in round number 5.
This is why I say, why let a fighter last? If you could get him out, because Doherty is roughhousing you. He's putting his head on you. You get a cut in there, and then you're out for a little while.
That's a very good point.
So get him out of there.
You got to be cognizant of that fighting style. The accidental clash of heads that we've seen in the past, and you're right, it could set a fighter back several months when he's in a real good groove, as Walsh is right now. So we'll see if he picks up the pace here. Final 30 seconds of round number 5. Ooh, another good right hand there by Walsh. Flipping Doherty again. It's kind of a repeat performance here in these closing seconds where Walsh just seems to find that second win.
When he throws 4 punches down the middle, they all land. Why even throw hooks?
Final 10 seconds. Doherty just trying to hang in there. Walsh lunging in, and there it goes. 5 rounds in the books, been wildly entertaining. Don't go anywhere. We've got more to come on Swerve Combat. Welcome back to Bally's Twin River Lincoln. We're starting to reach the latter stage of this bout. It's been all Kevin Walsh. No question about that. We've had some questions in the first two fights about which way it would go. There's really no such indecision here thus far. Walsh has dominated this fight, and he's turned on the pace in the later stages of each round to put a punctuation or really an exclamation point on his performance. And of course, Matt Doherty in the black trunks doing what he does best, just charging in and trying to find something that can work. Walsh Ray has been very patient.
Definitely patient. He's picking his shots. You know, he throws that forward punch, and he dies off. Then he throws another forward punch. I think this round here should be when we probably want to stop and get it over and done with.
And you wonder, even though Doherty keeps coming forward, how much he really has left in the tank. He's taking a lot of punishment tonight.
And that right eye looks very terrible.
He's losing his footing a little bit more with each shot, as you see. And we know Doherty's been in some ring wars, and he's gone the distance with some great fighters. But Ray, you know, Father Time, as they say, is undefeated, right?
Yes, he's definitely undefeated.
Catches up with everybody, and you wonder if he's starting to catch up with Doherty, who's coming back at age 35 after a 4-year layoff, as Walsh trying to land an uppercut there.
Doherty has nothing to, say this is his last fight.
No.
Hey, he was a great fighter in New England. He always came to fight and always gave his best, and there were fights there that, like we said earlier, that he was picked to lose and he won. Yep. He has nothing to fall down on.
A lot of guys who are incredibly active who wouldn't fight Kevin Walsh, never mind after 4 years off.
Yeah.
And that's without knowing the level of training he's put in during that time. But regardless, that's a very tall order to come back and take that kind of fight. But this is what Matt Doherty wanted. He had that fight against Paulo de Souza. He obviously liked the outcome of getting the win, but just didn't feel fulfilled in the end and wanted more out of it. And this is, a man of his word coming in there against Walsh, getting a title opportunity and getting a chance to fight on Swerve Combat in front of a packed house at Bally's Twin River. What more could you ask for? Not a lot of guys get that opportunity.
Not at all.
Final minute here of round 6. A bit of a slower pace here, but again, we've seen Walsh pick it up in those final 35, 40 seconds. Looks like now he's just starting to toy with Doherty a bit. Will we see the ensuing flurry?
Playing with him right now.
Sure.
That's what you don't want to do. Just get him out. He's from Brockton, Marvin Hagler. Don't play with your meat.
Body shot there by Walsh. Doherty's still coming forward. You love to see it. And he's not going to stop doing that until they tell him to stop. Doherty just trying to wrap up here and get back to the corner and get to round 7.
This is where the experience comes from. Yes, did Walsh win that fight? Yeah, but he played in that round. Let's not play.
Yeah.
If you can get your fighter out, get him out. And you don't have to throw big bombs. This is, like we seen earlier, just throw a 10-punch combination. Referee would jump in and stop the fight. There's no skin in the 8 count here. End it, get it over with.
Referee Ricky Gonzalez, who has been on top of the action from round number 1, and he'll certainly be keeping an eye on Doherty, and as he checks in now on the corner, and he'll be keeping an eye on that as it goes, and the bell rings for round 7. If there's, like you said, Ray, any sign of danger, he'll probably step in and wave it off and save Doherty from any further harm. And you brought up a very good point earlier in the fight about the possibility of accidental clash of heads or a cut, and as the opponent, who is clearly on the losing end of the fight, gets more desperate, that's how those accidents tend to happen.
He's definitely desperate. He's an MMA fighter. Doherty's doing exactly the right thing. He's laying his head on and rubbing it on him. Cause a cut. If the fighter, if Walsh gets cut and can't continue, then Doherty wins the fight. So he's doing what he has to do. If I can't hit him, I'm going to hit him with my head.
Here we go, round number 7. Kevin Walsh in the blue and white trunks taking on Matt Doherty in the black. This one for the vacant New England lightweight title. Nice little jab there by Doherty. This fight's been all Kevin Walsh as Michael Parenti and Sucro Ray Oliveira bring you all the action here on Swerve Combat. And sometimes, Ray, lopsided fights or fights that are more or less one-sided aren't entertaining, but this one has been exactly that. It's been very entertaining, and that's because Matt Doherty just continues to fight. And regardless of what the scorecards look like, you're going to get your money's worth, and you have gotten your money's worth in this one for sure.
Definitely, that's just coming. You know what? No other. This is what we see him do all the time. I just, like I said, like to see Kevin Walsh stop playing with your meat. Stop throwing your hands somewhere else. Just do what you're doing and get it out of here.
Walsh definitely getting more rounds in tonight after a first-round stoppage in his last fight, which was in February. So, not that that's by design, but just by coincidence.
I can see fighters when they say, I want to get rounds. Get rounds when you've been out for 4 or 5 years or months or so. Right now, you got rounds in the gym. You need to get rounds or you could get hurt.
And you forget, it's only been a month since that last fight. You and I watched ringside. It was a very, it was very decisive, big knockout victory for Walsh. It was his first one in 2 years.
And I like it that, that last fight was a run-around knockout. And I told him, I said, I hope you're not going to go out there thinking you're going to knock out everybody. He said, no, definitely not, Coach, definitely not. Well, we're going to do what I always do. Outbox the guy. If it comes, it comes. Well, right now, you can have it.
Sure.
Take it.
You're right. There's that line, right? Okay, I'm going to wait for it to come, but you got to have the instinct to know when it's there. And we'll see if Walsh finds that second gear. 55 seconds to go here in round number 7. Doherty, to his credit, as he always does, continues to hang in there.
And this is where you could lose crowd or fans that, you had them, you play with them. You're not going to lose your fans, but what I always said, I always want my opponent's fans. you might lose your opponent's fans by playing like this.
And you see there, he landed a nice shot. He had Doherty backpedaling in his corner, telling him to come forward, but instead Walsh backed out.
Yeah.
15 seconds to go in round 7.
Well, like I tell you, this is my opinion. I'm not right about everything. I'm 50-50, though.
There's the bell. So we've gotten 7 rounds out of this battle. And there were times, Ray, round 2, round 3, we didn't think we'd get this far, but Doherty has, to his credit, hung in there. And it could be equal parts. Walsh stacking off a bit, but also you got to really credit Doherty's toughness as well.
I don't see we call him Doherty. Matt, what's wrong with Matt? Matt is lasting it. I think Walsh is allowing him to last this long.
No, there's no doubt a little bit of both sides of play there for sure.
I mean, all Kevin got to do is, like you said, we know you get that second gear, hit it. Stop playing with the gas and just hit that second gear. Put the throttle down. Let's go. Get him out of here.
Now, it's worth mentioning as we go into the 8th round, and by all accounts, Walsh is probably up 7-0 in this fight. I'd be very hard-pressed to see a 6-1 card anywhere. Doherty does have 5 knockouts on his resume. He would need to pull out a pretty big miracle here to win this fight and try to dig into that well. And I mean,
he is Irish, right?
He is.
And we are in the month of the Irish.
It's still technically St. Patrick's Day season, right?
Yes.
Now it's March Madness as well, right? That may be copyrighted, but it's March Madness.
My card is all messed up.
Everybody's bracket, I believe. This is one of the first times they've said that Yahoo does not have a perfect bracket.
Nope.
Going into the round of 32, which is unbelievable. Shows you just how anything can happen. And we'll see if anything can happen here tonight, if Doherty is going to put one final flurry together here in these final 2.5 minutes and pull off the mother of all upsets against Kevin Walsh. But Walsh staying calm as he always does. And the flip side, we'll see if Walsh tries to close the show. You see his corner kind of waving him in, wanting to see him come forward.
This is where you got to please the crowd now. You got to give them what they want. The crowd wants a stoppage. You know, they want to see you go ahead. You're ahead on the scorecard. You're doing everything you wanted. The guy can't land a punch on you. So give the crowd what he wants.
And it's tough, right, Ray? Because you have to know that opponent can't hurt you before you go and execute that kind of game plan. If you're facing a dangerous puncher who can swing one from the hip, you probably wouldn't do that.
Yes, exactly. You know, you're a performer. You're a performer. So we want, yes, you're performing, but we know what the crowd isn't stupid. These boxing fans, especially here in Rhode Island, are not stupid. We know you can stop this guy. Stop playing with your meat and get him out.
Final minute and a half here of this 8th and final round. And we'll see if Walsh kicks it into that high gear again and tries to send the crowd home, or the Brockton contingent home happy. Either way, they'll be going home happy when that bell rings. Walsh, by all accounts, is going to take home the title here, but we'll see what he has left here. He's got Doherty back into a corner now.
I think the only people that are going to probably be a little angry would be his corner and myself. But we want this fight stopped. We know it should have been stopped. He did everything perfect, though. He outboxed him patiently, connected, made him miss. And he's going to home, as we believe, he's going home another belt around his waist.
And if this is the end for Matt Doherty, I mean, what a way to go out, right?
Yeah.
Come back 4 years off, you take on King Kevin Walsh and you go 8 rounds. I mean, you hang your hat on that all day.
Beautiful.
He's had a wonderful career in boxing and MMA and really been a...
Yeah, not just that, he ended his career with myself and you calling his last fight.
That's the way you want to go out. 13 seconds to go here. Here comes Kevin Walsh charging forward again. Crowd's feeling it. They want to see it.
Down the middle. Don't rush him.
There's the final bell. So Doherty survives all 8, but Kevin Walsh dominates this one from start to finish. A complete performance from King Kevin Walsh. And unless we completely misread this one, he is going to take home that vacant New England lightweight title. Will be the second crown. He'll be a 2-division champion, which is very rare in this sport, in all sports.
I hope he knows when he wins his belt that we believe he will. You can see right here. You see, Kevin, he picked up the pace the last second. But, you know, thank you. But he should have did a lot earlier. But if he goes home again with this second belt, there's more people that are going to call him out now. So, you know, it's not just the 130-pounders looking at you. Now it's the 135-pounders looking at you.
It'll be very interesting to see where he goes. Does he go back down to 130? It's been now 3-4 fights. I get the sense that he may be staying here at 35 for quite some time. And then as you start to get further along, if he gets to 13-0, 14-0, even 15-0, then you kind of follow the money, right?
Yeah, you definitely follow the money. Will it be at 130, 135? He doesn't know. It depends on what fights he's willing to take at either weight. You know, it's not just the money falls on who's next to you on that card.
Yeah, some weight classes pay more than others. Some weight classes don't have that network exposure that others do. So that's always a factor. We've heard that in the past with fighters who've moved up. I mean, cruiserweights are a good example.
Yeah.
A cruiserweight has never really gotten the notoriety it deserves from a mainstream standpoint, and that's been a decision to go to 175 or do I balloon and go to heavyweight. So all those things are factors. We're going to get the final word here from Margaret Cresta. Let's send it back up to our ring announcer and get the decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 8 tough rounds of boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge Robert Paolino, Judge Eddie Scunzio, Judge Martha Tremblay all scored the bout 80-71 for your winner by unanimous decision and new